So let's talk about now some of the tools and the preparations that are necessary when utilising hot stone massage as a treatment in your clinic. In addition to the massage table, linens and oils that you are going to use for any massage, you will need some specialised equipment for hot stone. Obviously you're going to need the stones, which we have discussed already. You will also need a heating unit to warm your stones, a storage container for the stones after you've cleaned them, and you will need some form of container to hold room temperature water for cooling stones that may be too hot to use immediately. Optionally, you may want tongs or spoons to use to remove the stones from the bottom of the heating unit, because it can be really hot to put your hand in there, and they can be much hotter than the ones at the top when you're sticking your hand down in a bit further. And then we want to talk about temperature with you. Now, temperature in general terms for a full body hot stone treatment, the best temperature is between 50 and 55 degrees Celsius, or 125 to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. The reason is this: anything above 37 degrees, which is normal body temperature, is going to feel hot to you and the client. When you work with less than 50 degrees, you are giving a warm stone massage, not a hot stone massage. Therefore, the massage is not as effective. An important rule, though, is that if a stone is too hot to hold in your hand for 2 or 3 seconds, it is too hot to use on your client. The palm of your hand has a great deal more temperature tolerance than a person's back, so I want you to keep that in mind. And I'm going to show you in the demonstration videos how we roll the stones to absorb the heat into our hands and then introduce that heat along the back of the body. So it brings then us to the question of which heating unit. Now, I don't want you to believe that you've got to spend a lot of money purchasing a special stone heater from a specialty supply catalogue or store for your hot stone practice. You don't. A digital temperature display is best. However, you can buy one that's like a crock pot just here for about $40 in places like Myer or Nordstrom or even Mitre 10. You know, sometimes the hardware store sells these sorts of things. So, but the point I'm trying to make is you want to be sure that it has a thermometer that's going to correctly gauge the water temperature. And an ordinary kitchen roaster or crock pot will work just fine. However, the size will depend on how many stones you have. So in an at-home setting to pamper yourself or a loved one, something small is going to be fine. You will need to begin heating your stones at least 1 hour before the scheduled massage. The stones should be placed in the heating unit, which is also filled with water. Now, we recommend firm and fold, and the reason that we do is because you're our students, they're going to give you a one-time 10% off code when you purchase through them. So we want you to look at grabbing all your essentials in that first go, because the code is only valid once. But they have an excellent delivery service Australia-wide for anything that you need, and they carry such a wide variety of tools and great quality stuff for people who are just starting out their practitioner business. You'll find it's very helpful to place a small white towel in the bottom of your heater when you purchase it so that you can see your stones. And the inside of the heater is black and generally filled with water, and the stones are black, so you know, placing a white towel inside makes it easier for you to find them. And most of these heaters generally are that dark colour. I've never seen one that's a light colour inside, so that's another reason a different coloured towel. I like to use cloth nappy because they're just the right density and heaviness to sit and not slip when I'm using my wooden spoon to get my stones out of the water. Now, temperatures vary by heating unit, but remember our safe range is 50 to 55 degrees Celsius. It seems hot, but they do cool fast, and if they are too hot, you can douse them quickly in a container of room temperature water to cool them, and then pick them up and begin the treatment and the session. All right, so just finishing up on our discussion around this, there's some really important points to remember. Remember that anything over 37 degrees will feel warm to your client because that is warmer than normal human body temperature. So don't worry about the stones being too cool. You can apply a stone to your forearm like you would a baby bottle to test it. Most of the stones you are using are going to be moving on the client's skin, so they are more tolerable than the stationary stones which just sit on key areas. Stationary stones must be a little cooler or covered in an extra layer of linen. You should check in with your clients by asking them if the temperature is okay, just like you ask about pressure in a standard massage. All right. So the most important things, guys, around that I want you to remember is the cleanliness of your stones, the heating unit, the temperature, and the difference of temperature with stationary stones as well. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.